Hi everyone, welcome to the Career Sprints YouTube channel. This is Rohit and we like to produce videos that help you with your professional development and continuous learning. Now in this video, I would like to talk about how resources are managed in the world of Agile. But before we start this video, it's critical to recognize that although in the PMBOK there is guidance on both human and physical resources, in Agile there is a higher focus on the people element of a project. The importance of people and the power of interactions is the first statement in the Agile Manifesto 2, where it says individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Now, in addition to the manifesto, there are quite a few Agile principles that point to the criticality of human interaction and good team dynamics. For instance, principle number 4, 5, 6, and 11, which are shown here also on the slides, talk about things such as face-to-face communication, self-organization, etc. Now, let's move on and look at some differences between traditional and agile team management strategies. Now, traditionally, companies manage projects using a command and control type of approach, where project managers are assigning tasks to people that they are expected to complete. And the project managers control what the team does. Whereas in the world of Agile, teams are self-managing entities who, although are told what is expected of them, maybe by like a product owner, the details of task distribution, task management, that is the how, is left up to the team to determine and decide. Here, project managers or team leaders might choose to take a more hands-off approach or act like a servant leader who acts like a coach, obstacle remover, and also removes any unnecessary distractions from the team's life, keeping them focused on the iteration and release goals. So that's the key difference between the leadership style in predictive versus agile. Next, companies also evaluate individual employee performance in the world of predictive, whereas in agile, organizations evaluate entire team performance. Now, this could mean that in the world of Agile, bonuses and incentives would also be tied to how the entire team performs rather than how an individual person performs, such as in the world of predictive. The idea in Agile is that the whole team performance encourages individual team members to increase the ways they can contribute to the overall team's success. It's similar to like a player in a soccer team or in a basketball team, where individual performance doesn't really matter as much as how the entire team performs. So if the entire team performs well, that means the team, the basketball team or the soccer team is going to win that match. Now, another critical difference between predictive and agile is that in the world of predictive, team members often find themselves working on more than one project at a time, thus switching their attention back and forth across multiple projects. Whereas in the world of Agile, the focus is on a single project. So each team member or each team is focusing on one project or one initiative at one time. Now, the advantage with having an approach like this is that there is razor sharp focus of the team members on delivering the value of the sprint or the iteration, and eventually that results in delivering high value to customers in a short period of time. Now, the next point of difference is that in the world of Agile, teams normally have a limit, maybe around 8 to 10 people in a team, whereas in the world of predictive, the team sizes may not really have limits. I have seen teams which have 15 people or 20 people or even more than 15 to 20 people in a single team. Now, the problem with having so many people in the team is that communication and coordination amongst all these different people becomes really, really hard. So Agile recommends that the maximum team size should be anywhere between 8 to 10 people or maybe even lesser than that. The advantage with this sort of an approach is that when there are fewer people in the team, coordination and communication amongst team members would be much better. Now, another important difference between predictive and agile is that in the world of predictive, people are referred to as human resources. Now, unfortunately, this term has earned a reputation that people are not valued in these organizations. This term at times is seen as not treating people as entities with emotions and feelings, but just as a resource that can be hired and fired within the organization. Now, in the world of Agile, people are referred to as people. This gives a more human touch to the idea of having people in your team, because remember that Agile came from the world of software development, and software is built by developers and testers and so many other people in the organization who come together, and they are all people who have emotions, they have feelings. So Agile really wants to take care of this and wants to emphasize that they really care about the human element, and to such organizations, how people feel on a day-to-day basis. Now, lastly, in traditional organizations, teams could be built around functional areas, such as separate teams for marketing, finance, HR, IT, or logistics. Now, such types of setups create organizational silos and reduce collaboration between teams. Reduced collaboration means increased time to coordinate activities and tasks, and thus this further reduces the velocity with which the organization is able to create value for customers. Whereas Agile teams are cross-functional teams, where in a single team you will find members from several organizational functions or departments. For example, a software team may have developers, may have testers, may have maybe a network engineer, may have a business analyst, may have a UI or a UX expert. So all these different people from different functions, they come together and become a part of a single Agile team. Now, such type of setup breaks the silo that exists within the organization and makes team members more collaborative, increases overall organizational learning, because a tester, for example, could be learning from a developer and vice versa, and reduces the overall time that is lost due to poor communication. Eventually, the positive effect of this is that there is a faster delivery of value to the end user or to the customer. Now, here's an excerpt from the Agile Practice Guide about collaboration. So they go on to say, collaborative teams are often critical to the success of projects with a high degree of variability and rapid changes, because there is less time for centralized tasking and decision making. In a nutshell, in a high change environment, such as where Agile is used, rapid decision making becomes paramount. Further, in the Agile Practice Guide, they talk about planning. So they say planning for physical and human resources is much less predictable in projects with high variability. In these environments, agreements for fast supply and lean methods are critical to controlling costs and achieving the schedule. So, for instance, practices like on-demand or continuous planning, lean budgets, re-estimating work from time to time are all strategies that work far better in an Agile environment. So there you go. I've just explained another important PMP knowledge area, which is of resource management and how it applies in an Agile environment. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Also, before you depart from my channel, I quickly wanted to talk about this free PMP virtual class that we conduct a couple of times in a month. Now, in this free class, we cover a lot of useful information about the PMP exam that can help you get closer to your target of cracking the exam in the first attempt successfully. For example, we talk about the books and resources that you can leverage for your PMP exam preparation, any pitfalls that you can avoid while preparing for the PMP exam, and obviously all the necessary steps, tips, and strategies that you need to take to gain your PMP certification. Additionally, we also teach at least one chapter from the PMBOK totally free of cost in every class. So definitely consider registering for this class. The link for registration is given in the description of this video. Next, I also wanted to quickly talk about this Udemy course that I've created on the Agile Practice Guide. Now, the Agile Practice Guide is the main reference book for the PMP exam, and greater than 50% of the PMP exam is now Agile. So, having said that, the Agile Practice Guide becomes an extremely critical resource for your PMP exam prep strategy. This is something that cannot be ignored. And this is the only course on Udemy which is based on the Agile Practice Guide. It has razor-sharp focus on exactly what you need to know from an Agile perspective for the PMP exam. Feel free to click on the link in the description below and use the coupon code to get this course at a discount. Finally, I would like to make an important announcement as well. We are going to have very soon an in-class workshop that talks about the PMP exam psychology, where we'll help you develop the mental muscle to tackle tricky and difficult PMP questions just like a pro. Now, this workshop will be for 10 to 12 hours, where we'll help you develop the right mindset to crack the PMP exam in your first attempt. And the cost for this is going to be super reasonable. So if you're interested in joining this class, you can send us an email at info@careersprints.com and we'll send you all the information about the class. Now, thanks for watching this video. Watch out for the space for new videos and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more useful content. Thank you. All the best for your PMP exam preparation.